My name is Sam Paton, and I'm a sophomore at Lassiter High School, and today I'm going to be sharing with y'all something that I know a lot of us struggle with and are probably struggling with right now with the coronavirus going on, and that's anxiety. So the dictionary.com definition of anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome. And there are a lot of things that can cause us to have anxiety. School being with just the amount of work that we have, especially as high schoolers. And the teachers, sometimes we feel like we're given unfair teachers that don't treat us or teach us the way that we want to be treated or taught. And just the people in general. High school, I like to call it, is a toxic environment. And it's just full of people that you don't want to deal with, that you just want to run away from. And you always feel like you're being judged by something. And another thing that causes anxiety is just friends. I mean, there's always friend drama going around. And I struggled with keeping just the same friends every year, every couple of months. I was always a jumper. And even your home life. My home life caused me a lot of anxiety at the beginning of sophomore year. My family and I struggled with a lot of things, and sometimes it was really hard to come home to my problems. I just always wanted to stay away, whether it's, especially with all this going around with the economy. You could be struggling financially, or you could be getting into fights with your parents or your siblings. I mean, I know you're stuck home all day with them. And even last year, church gave me a lot of anxiety. I didn't go a lot until I had to for DR, and I didn't know anyone, and I was super just shy and just behind, and I didn't really know what was going on half the time. I tried to keep up, and I just walked in, and fear just arose in me. But don't feel alone. We're not the only ones that deal with this stuff. There are great representations in the Bible, and I'm not going to name off everyone because we'd be here all night. But one that really just spoke to me was Daniel. And you probably know him because he was thrown into a den of lions. But actually, I'm not going to talk to you about that. He also had these things called visions. And these visions were kind of unsettling to Daniel because you wouldn't want to see them. So, in chapter 7 of Daniel, he has this vision of these 4 beasts. That's how he describes them. And I probably wouldn't want to see them. I don't think anyone wants to see them. But in Daniel 7:15, he describes his visions as, I, Daniel, was troubled in spirit, and the visions that passed through my mind disturbed me. Now, that word disturbed just stuck out right to me. I mean, when I use the word disturbed, I'm actually using it for something that disturbs me. And that's just a strong word. When you see something that really just you don't want to see again, you say, that was disturbing, whether it's just a video or a picture. So the way that he describes that really just was not a good image. And the thing is these visions, it was him looking to the future, and it just gave him a lot of anxiety because he was like, this is actually going to happen, and that's all he thought about. And in chapter 8, he talks again about how he has another vision, and in Daniel 8:27, he describes these visions as, I, Daniel, was worn out. I lay exhausted for several days. Then I got up and went about the king's business. I was appalled by the vision. I was beyond understanding. And just the beginning of this verse really just stuck out. He describes he was worn out and he lay exhausted for several days. Now, he was so filled with anxiety that he was sick for several days. And he was exhausted. And I get how that feels. I mean, we've all probably experienced panic attacks or anxiety attacks. I know I have, and it just leaves you exhausted, and you're just overwhelmed, and he was so out of it that he was sick for several days. And I know a lot of people, they just skip a day of school because they're so overwhelmed and they're so out of it that they just can't face it. And there's so many ways that we can deal with this kind of stuff. And I actually wrote down 4 things that helped me and helped my friends. The first one, this might be hard with the social distancing, but it's to comfort and encourage your friends and your peers. And my favorite thing to do whenever my friends are feeling down or bad is to give them a big hug. But unfortunately, with our circumstances, we probably shouldn't do that. It's pretty frowned upon. But you can still encourage them. You can, with all this social media and the internet, you can send them cute little messages. You can even write them a letter if you want to be creative, send them a little carrier pigeon. But yeah, you don't really have to give them a hug to show them that you love them. The second one is to provide whatever they need. Sometimes when people are feeling really anxious, all they really need is a pep talk, or just something to calm them down, to make them feel better, like a happy memory, or just to show them that they're going to be okay. The third one is sometimes you gotta go through with them. You have to go through the anxious event with them, something that causes them anxiety. And a lot of times we do that and we don't even realize it. I mean, a lot of us are stressed out about school. We're always stressed out and we're all just walking in the same boat, but in different directions. And sometimes you just have to do that. And the fourth one is my favorite, and Daniel actually does this. It's to pray. Sometimes you just have to give it all to God. And this is probably one of the best options. You just say, God, just take it from me, please. I can't take it anymore. And this option is always open. He's always there to listen. He's always there to take your anxiety away from you. And it's super helpful. It lifts a lot off your shoulders, trust me. And a verse that really helped me understand that was 1 Peter 5:7. And it says, give all your worries and cares to God, for he cares about you. So he's not going to let you go through this alone. He's always there. And don't let anxiety get the best of you. So I'm going to pray us out. Dear God, I know in these uncertain circumstances, we may feel worried and anxious about what the world is going through right now. And we may feel trapped and just full of fear. But we know that even in the Bible, it shows that we are not alone and that we can get through this, and that there are ways for us to help each other and to help ourselves. And that whenever we feel overwhelmed or anxious, that we can just give our worries and our fears up to you, and that you can lift them off of our shoulders. And that we know that you care for us and that you will not let us go through this alone. And in your name, amen. Thank you all so much for listening to this. I hope it really helps with all these things going around. And I hope all of y'all are staying safe and healthy, and that you're staying 6 feet apart and using your hand sanitizer. Bye!